The profound imbalances Arden had sensed in the deeper key currents of the planar world began to manifest. It was a subtle, pervasive shift at first, felt as a deepening hum in the very air, a resonance that was both ancient and subtly discordant. This was not the intentional geomantic resonance that was both ancient and subtly This was not the intentional... A resonance that was both ancient and subtly discordant. This was not the intentional geomantic disturbance of Alyssin, nor the crude suppression of the syndicate. This was the planet's own raw energy, stirred from millennia of slumber, reacting to the unprecedented influx of conscious, probing minds. From the cliffside overlook, the geomantic display now showed not just the emerald threads of exploration, but vast, swirling anomalies in the key flows beyond the Antarctic wall. These were areas where the raw planar energy was coiling, intensifying, creating localized phenomena that defied conventional understanding. Rivers of liquid light would spontaneously form, carving new ephemeral channels through crystal plains. Mountain ranges would suddenly shift, their peaks resonating with profound, unsettling frequencies, and the echoes from the living archive, once a controlled influx, became more frequent, more overwhelming, flooding human minds with unfiltered, sometimes contradictory truths from the planet's vast memory. The planar key is reacting to their presence, Master Arden, Ilara reported, her voice strained by the intense ambient key. Her face was etched with concern. These anomalies, they are not hostile, but they are immensely powerful. Expeditions are being inadvertently swept into energy currents. Minds are struggling to cope with the sheer volume of unfiltered memory. Arden, the Prime Immortal, watched the display with a grim determination. This was the true cost of unbinding the key. The inherent danger of exposing humanity to the raw, untamed reality. The planet was not malevolent, but it was vast, ancient, and utterly indifferent to the fragile sensibilities of its newly awakened children. He had engineered the awakening, and now he had to manage its terrifying consequences. The elemental key beings, which had previously reacted with curiosity, now seemed agitated. Their forms flickered more rapidly, their movements became erratic. They were guardians of the deeper key, and they sensed the intrusion, the uncontrolled disturbance of their ancient territories. Some began to converge on the human exploration routes, their luminous forms pulsing with a heightened, almost warning resonance. There were no direct attacks, but the sheer, overwhelming presence of these beings, coupled with the chaotic energy of the anomalies, was enough to cause profound psychological distress among human explorers. Alyssin's signature, once a beacon of aggressive exploration, now pulsed with a new mix of exhilaration and genuine alarm. She had sought the complete truth, the unfiltered reality, but even her formidable intellect was grappling with the sheer unbridled power now manifesting. She continued to push for deeper understanding, for humanity to adapt, but her transmissions now contained an urgent edge, almost a plea for them to find a way to interface with these phenomena, rather than merely observe. She understood the peril, but her drive for complete awakening was unyielding. Alyssin is attempting to teach them how to consciously engage with the deep key, Ilara observed, her brow furrowed, to harmonize, but they are not ready. They will learn, Arden, the Prime Immortal stated, his voice resonating with a power that seemed to quell the ambient key around them. His gaze sharpened, focusing on a particularly unstable anomaly forming near a large human exploration party. This was not something the acolytes with their guiding hands could manage alone. This required a different kind of intervention. He moved from the overlook, descending into the heart of his private sanctuary, towards the obsidian days. The roar of the fully unleashed waterfall outside was now a constant, thunderous anthem. He had used the planet's his own profound connection to gently guide, to stabilize, to act as a living filter for the overwhelming force of the planar world. Arden placed his hands on the cool black surface of the days. He closed his eyes, drawing in the boundless raw key. This was his burden, his eternal task. He would not stop the awakening, for it was the planet's will, but he would temper its fury, shield his children from its overwhelming embrace. His immense power, his unparalleled understanding of geomancy would become the ultimate balm, the final shield. The deepening hum was a warning, and the Prime Immortal was preparing to answer.